Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Sober podcast with your host, Kohdi Rainey.
What is going down? Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Sober podcast, recorded live here on TikTok. What is up? How you guys doing? What are you doing? Like you just chilling like villains on penicillin? I have no idea what we're talking about today. Actually, as a matter of fact, I had some pretty amazing conversations today. I was able to meet with some really amazing people. And one of these amazing humans had this incredible story. And this is because there's so many people that are like struggling with sobriety. And if you guys didn't know already, I'm actively working with people who are ready to transform their lives and are tired of like 12-step programs and would rather hang out with me for an hour. And oh my God, my brother, what's up, dude? So good to see you, man. And so today I had this really amazing conversation, which led me to basically determine that what I talk about is absolute. It means that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you're struggling with. The processes are the same. And what I focus so heavily on is the gap between drinks. So many people go like, dude, I'm not drinking. I'm not doing this. I'm sober. I'm whatever. Like, cool, dude. So what's new? You're just sober? Can't seem to stop longer than a week. I get you 100%, man. Hey, bro, 14 months sober. Thanks to you. What? Holy crap. What's up, Bill? Dude, I'm so stoked to hear that. That is amazing. I'm so proud of you. See, look, everybody, we're not special. We're more similar than we are different. And everybody, I remember people go like, it's not possible, man. I can't do it. I can't. And then we affirm that in our subconscious. So the first thing that happens when you wake up is you find reasons why you can't. And then that becomes your programming all day long. Everything you do is under the realm of I can't. And unfortunately, it's not just the day that you live like that. Your life becomes wrapped around the false belief and limiting belief that it's not possible. The trippy part about things that are impossible is it's just a feeling. Everything that we feel is just a feeling. And you're looking at 14 months sober. We're looking at struggling to get past a week. We're looking at struggling to get started. It's not about can't, man. It's if we focus on what we can't do, we'll never do anything. You have no idea what you won't achieve until you don't achieve it. I never thought that I'd be offered a TV show on Tubi and like working with Apple and Android and like OTT apps and all this stuff. That wasn't something that was outside. I never said I can't do it. It just wasn't on my radar. I always knew I could do it. Why wouldn't I be able to do it? If I could think of it, I could do it. There's always a way to do it. The difference is the way that it's portrayed so commonly isn't the absolute way. And the trippy part about absolute ways is there's no one size fits all. Your way is the only way. What's up, dude? So good to see you. 1,028 days, still hard, also 100% worth it. Dude, that's badass. That is seriously so cool. Over 1,000 days without consuming alcohol, and you still respect the struggle. Dude, I haven't consumed alcohol in 5 years. Jinx, what's up, bro? So stoked to see you, man. Goodness gracious. Over a year here, lots and lots of friends, but gained so much more. Lost a lot of friends. Yeah. Sadly, when we're on our mental health and physical health journey, we give ourselves permission, and this is the struggle, to outgrow the people that we were most compatible with when we were drinking. And sadly, a lot of us, most of us, almost all of us, end up feeling like we lost people. When in reality, how can you lose someone that wasn't capable of keeping up with you? Hey, what's up? And HVED? How can you lose somebody who's simply incapable of keeping up with you? You didn't lose them. You're not compatible anymore. You were drinking buddies. I'll say that again. How can you lose somebody who's simply incapable of keeping up with you? That's what growing is. Sobriety, which is this state after sober. Remember, sober is a destination. That's the 4 days, right? 4 days, you're 100% sober, clinically sober. But then you jump into a state of sobriety. That's the place of practice. So remember this. Think of it like my first thought was like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if I'll like it. I've never played it. Jamie, what's up, bro? So stoked to see you, man. Dude, miss your face, dude. Hey, we got to talk, dude. We got to talk like real bad because Beyond Sober is now a TV show on 300 streaming networks, and I just signed the contract yesterday. I got a sponsor or a link with Tubi. That's on my remote, dude. There's a button for Tubi, and I'm being featured there. And we're going global, bro. So, Jamie, what this means is that your program, the Phoenix program, I need to interview you, bro, and I need to blast you to 60 million people. So much is happening. So much is happening, and this is the energy that you're getting right now. I just did all the covers and all the banners and all that stuff for the channel. And so now I'm actually strategizing content and working with leaders in the industry. My goal is to, by November, late October, early November 2023, to revolutionize mental health and sobriety using the Beyond Sober program and practices. Thanks, Ray. As the baseline for a new approach to improving the quality of lives of people who are struggling. That is my absolute mission. That's my declaration to the universe. And it's thanks to every single one of you that continue to show up. And thank you for struggling in the ways that you do, because you help me practice what I know and master what I believe, so I can help you not just overcome that, but be a guiding force to the people around you too. Remember, you don't have to be teaching someone for them to learn from you. You don't have to be teaching somebody for them to learn from you. You being you, you taking care of you, you struggling forward, you managing and working through the things that are actually detrimental in your life is admirable. That's inspiration, dude. This is why it's okay to outgrow people, right? It's just me in this house. Like, I have, you think I got like a group of friends? No. I haven't seen Jamie Ryder. I see him online on occasion. I've met a couple people at the gym. But the reality is that I don't mind being with myself. And there's not too many people that I meet that are really, I don't want to say on my level, but just like they don't vibrate where I'm at. And it's not because that they are low. It's because I am actively growing. So if someone's incapable of keeping up with me, water, what I do? Water right here, bro. If they're incapable of keeping up with me, I'm not going to take that personally. I'm excited for them because there's so much growth that's on their journey, and I'm really excited to help facilitate that stuff. But that's the reality with it's not about overcoming addiction. It's not about getting sober. It's about what you're practicing within that state of sobriety. And this brings up this concept, which is like this whole kind of process that I've been tossing around for the past couple hours. Is it really is what you do between drinks, because not drinking doesn't change who you are. And a lot of people, they look at that and they go like, oh, so it's me, I'm the problem. No, you're not the problem. The version of you that you don't prefer, the one that's struggling, they have a problem. And sadly, you have to deal with the problem that the version of you that you don't prefer has created. That's why you're consciously going, no, I don't want this. The version of you, the unhealthy version of you, is going, no, we're fine. We can do this. This is cool. We're good at this. But you, the real you're going, nah, I'm done. Like, we're done. And you actually feel enslaved to the driver of the vehicle that you accidentally appointed over time. Jim Carrey talks about that. It's depression is that mask. You've been wearing that mask for too long. And so those that have been struggling with not just sobriety, but mental health and physical health, dude, we have to put on the mask of strong. But being strong and feeling strong is not the same. Most of us that are being strong don't feel very strong. We don't, man. Like, we're like, God damn it, this sucks. Oh, one more day, one more second, one more moment, one more call, one more email, one more day, just, oh. And then in the middle of that anguish is the kids, and then politics, and then your stomach hurts. And then that guy said that one thing, and then there's a thing on TikTok, and it's just, oh my God, when will it stop? It stops when we stop paying attention to it. We got to look at where we're giving our attention and what's getting our attention. Ray, bro. Oh, I don't want to jump out of here. Dude, I just found your bracelet, man. Thank you so much for that bracelet. Brian was wearing hers the other day before she went back to Canada. And I was like, dude, is that the one Ray made you? She's like, yeah, I wear it every day. I was like, dude, I put mine in a drawer when I was moving. I can't find it. So I wasn't able to wear it for a couple months, dude. And I just found it like 3 days ago after I finally unpacked everything. And I just took it off, dude. But I just want to say thank you so much for that bracelet, man. It is so badass. It reminds me of you every day. I feel empowered and I feel stronger when I wear it, man. I definitely feel your energy and I truly, truly appreciate you. And it's because of your growth, brother. Keep in mind, dude, you could have, you were an array of sunshine when you were identifying as an alcoholic, brother. Then you jumped into Beyond Sober. You worked with the coaches. And dude, like you saved your job, you saved your future, you designed a new life, and then you made me a bracelet, bro, and Brianna a bracelet, and who knows what else you've done since then. But you are wandering the earth in peace. It doesn't mean you don't struggle, but it does mean that you wander with purpose. You're aimlessly safe in the space that you choose to operate in, which is absolutely phenomenal, brother. That is true growth. That is true success. And that is the definition of peace right there, knowing that you're at home no matter where you are. Home is a feeling. I'm at home, dude. Ray Garcia in the building. It takes courage to get up and face the ongoing wreckage, dude, yeah, of the past that rolls on after we stop. Here's the trippy part. This goes back to the conversation that I had today. It was such a great conversation. He was super duper chill, and I'm so excited to work with him. I love working with people who are already making progress, so I can literally just elevate that. Like, if I choose to work with you, it's because I know beyond any reasonable doubt that I will and you will get the results faster than later. Like, I see exactly where we got to put our attention. That's the beautiful part about being in this position, is being able to identify things. Ray, you know what this is like. To be able to identify areas that we can add more energy to and amplify these areas that make the things that are getting our attention seem so minuscule. And the phrase that he was repeating today was reframe. He's like, dude, I never thought of it like that. Like, yeah, that's because we're stuck in these thought cycles. Thought psychos. Yeah, I love that. These thought psychos. You would never choose that thought. That's the beautiful part about it. Like, if you're having shitty thoughts, just know that ain't you. Why would you choose to have that thought? These thought psychos. It is called auto thought. Auto thought is our subconscious. So when you look at it, the concept of auto thought, what's back here is what's driving your mood. Paulina, what's up? What's driving your mood? Oh, dude, 2 years, monkey, ninja, gorilla, bear, mantis. It's what's back here, which most of us give our attention to what was put there through our trauma, through our past, our anguish and anxiety and depression and unfortunate circumstances. That becomes an energetic force that sits at the base of our skull. And then it feels like there's somebody that's just 90,000 times a day is just throwing this random thought into the forefront, and you got to walk through this thought, and it feels like 1,000 just speed bumps. And you're like, where are these coming from? My question to you, if that's how you feel, and you feel kind of enslaved by your mind, and you feel like you're suffering by your own thoughts, or what you are thinking is contributing to a low state of mind, then my question is, when was the last time that you actually intentionally thought a thought? Like, when was the last time, this is for everybody, when was the last time that you weren't just paying attention to your thoughts, you actually intentionally thought a thought? Not having an opinion, but thought a thought. You're like, yeah, I'm the shit today. I'm amazing. Or like intentionally, not accidentally said something nice about you, but with intent. And I say this because, hey, what's up, girl? Yours is Donna Faye. Because most of us don't think throughout the day. We don't think. Like, do you really have to think while you're doing your dishes? Thinking of guilt. Guilt is thinking of you. That's the truth. Guilt loves you. The reality is the only reason why you have guilt is because you're a better person now. Because this version of you feels bad that you weren't this version back then. Because if you were this version of you back then, that would have happened, right? That is proof that you've grown. You can let it go now. You can move through it now. You don't have to forget it, but there's nothing more that you're going to gain, because the fact that you have felt or are capable of feeling guilt based on those thoughts is proof that you're a better person. Because if you were this version back then, you would have never allowed that circumstance to unfold. This is why punishing yourself doesn't work. If punishing yourself worked and being hard on you was going to change anything, it would have changed everything and worked already. But it doesn't. So why do we keep doing it? It's that auto thought, man. We think that we're supposed to think that way, and then we're upset that it doesn't feel right to us. So we punish ourselves with emotions or attempt to escape that emotion with a substance. Unfortunately, that substance helps you ignore the way you feel about the thought you didn't ask to have, while actively lowering your mental health. So when you get back to sobriety, you feel like donkey balls. And the solution to that is what? More alcohol. It's sad the way it works. But this is why advertising and society glorifies and glamorizes alcohol and alcoholic behavior. I just read something. I don't think it's up here. I wonder if I can find it. I got to read this to you because I just thought of this. It's not going to show up. I just read that 74, I was looking at grants today. I was looking at grants to see if there's a way that we can get funding to basically just blast Beyond Sober even further. We've got the book coming out. We've got the TV show being launched. I think the official launch is in January. So over the next couple months, you'll hear me talking a lot about that. But I looked at this specific grant, and they were just packed with information. And the trippy part is that 74 million people right this second are struggling with alcohol use disorder. 74 million people. That's 1% of the population. 75 million is 1% of the population. That is a lot of people that feel enslaved to a substance. This is like, and keep in mind, alcohol use disorder, AUD, alcohol use disorder, it varies in degree. This is why I don't have the same recommendation for everybody. It depends on how much you're drinking, if you're emotionally entangled, if you're physically, wrapped up in it, whatever it is. But if 74 million people are struggling right now, how many of those people are seeking alternative methods, right? This is just the 74,000 that are reported. You know how many millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people who are struggling and they won't say anything because they think that AA or other typical 12-step programs, which is in part of that grant, is the only way that it's going to work? Meditation isn't recommended, going for walks, changing your diet, practicing drinking less, thinking healthy thoughts, literally transforming yourself is not a typical recommendation in any of these grants or really anywhere. And it's trippy to think about because the alcohol crisis, there's a reason why there's a grant for this. Please listen to me, dude. There's a grant because the actual physical damage, like the societal damage caused by alcoholism right now is $247 billion. You know what that means? That means that because of the 75 million people who are struggling, there's 274 or 47 billion dollars in damage. That's bananas, dude. And you know what's trippy? 249 billion is, I believe, what the alcohol industry is making right now. Is there no coincidence with that? Does that not connect? It makes absolute sense to me because alcohol does not bank on happy people. It's advertised to people in a delectable way. But the trip with this is if the alcohol industry is making 247 billion per year, 49 billion per year right now. This is double what the annual revenue is. And then there's 79 billion dollars in damages caused by alcohol use disorder. What does that say about the industry, man? We must stay focused, brothers. We must not lose November. Facts. I've tried to message and talk to you and I can't. Is it because I'm not following you? I get that every single day. people reaching out to me. Look, dude, if we've never connected online before, just hit the link in my bio. It's going to take you straight to Beyond Sober, and there's a pop-up that says, dude, you want to leave me a question? Or now what I'm doing is once you drop your information, you have access to all the links, Beyond Sober, single shot method. You can apply to work with me. But I'm also sending over this 6-step recovery guide. So maybe you want to take a look at it and you want to know every single thing that's inside the program and just read it and do it. That I'm just going to send over to you. But also you can just leave me a direct message and I'll send you a video reply. So that's a lot of what I do during the day is I'm actively responding to people who have deep burning questions. Sometimes I'm going, hey, dude, take a look at Beyond Sober because we talk about that in module 2. That's week 2. Or I definitely think that you should apply to work with me and see how well we work because it's specific and strategic how we're going to get you to where you need to go. Or, and this happens often, bro, hang up right now, go to the hospital, dude. I can't look at you in your yellow eyes like there's an issue and you need to go. And so that's the whole point of why I continue to show up is to make sure that we have the tools and resources and support necessary to make a viable decision that ends up in the most applicable solution based on who we are and where we're going, right? So symptoms and all those things like withdrawals, they take a different type of measure. A lot of people are afraid to go to the hospital. A lot of people are embarrassed to talk to the doctor. I speak with people every single day. Should I go? I'm afraid of what the doctors are going to tell me. When you're sober on the 28th, yeah, dude, that's amazing. Hey, bro, respectfully, what's the reason for the beanie, medical or something else? Great question. Thank you for being polite on that. I have very sensitive ear holes. If you guys, as kids, a lot of kids get ear infections, and I was one of those kids. And so I have like tiny ear holes. So like, for instance, there's a fan over there, and it's chilly out here in Nashville. So if I go outside or there's cold water or there's too much wind, I can get an ear infection really, really easily. So I just keep them covered up. It's really bad for me to swim in this because that cold water will just end up in my ear and it sucks. But also gives me Flavor Flav, man, right? 2 hats all the time. So there's so much that goes on the back end of Beyond Sober and helping, the community out. Obviously, not just on TikTok, but one-on-one and in the community, in the groups, and helping people exceed as far as possible steadily. Because the thing is that I want you to grow through the actual process, not just get what you want. Because this goes back to the conversation I had today. I'm loving Nashville. Just went on a drive today. It is absolutely phenomenal. So the trip with this is it comes down to what you're doing while you're not drinking. And I'll bring this up because this was the absolute, not just proof, but it's so common. It is the reason why we can't make it more than 1 week. It is the reason why day 3 is so difficult. It is the reason why people claim that they relapse after 100 days. So here's the conversation. Very, very simple. Hey there, what's up, man? I'm on day 5. I'm so determined. Woo! Yes. So I was in this conversation today, and I was like, dude, he says, dude, I was 149 days without drinking. And then I broke up with my girlfriend or something like that happened. It was stress at work. And then I just went right back. Like, can you read my message? I can. And he just went right back. So he's like, oh, I could have 1 drink. But he's the type of cat that goes, 1 is too many and 1,000 isn't enough. He's not going to stop at 1. He's also not going to stop at 6. So he ended up lapsing in his sobriety. All right. So before I move forward with this story, the difference between a lapse in sobriety and a relapse in addiction is this. A lapse, which is what almost 100% of people go through, right, is going X amount of days and then drinking alcohol, then going right back to not drinking again. Because 4 days after that drink, you're back to 100% sober. So that's a lapse in sobriety. Remember this, you can't lose your sobriety and you can't restart because you don't gain more sober. You're not going to be more sober. It's not like, oh, I was like 500 days sober, and it's not, there's no levels to this. So sober is sober. So this is why you can't lose that shit. How 4 days? 4 days is how long it takes alcohol to physically process through your system and through your liver. So basically, if your liver is functioning properly and doing what it does, and it's not an acute liver failure or there's no permanent damage to it, then within 4 days, roughly, you will have 0 alcohol in your body, which means a doctor will test you and go, you are 100% sober. That's usually when they will start working with you, because there's nothing in your machine. There's nothing in your body that could give false readings or could be contributing to any factor that they may be testing for. It's in your mind constantly. Yeah, so is everything else that you're not paying attention to. So that's a lapse in sobriety. So you're on your sober journey, you haven't been drinking, then you decided to drink, cool. You go back to being sober, awesome. And instead of 150 days, you're 149 days sober, whatever. Then a relapse in addiction is what everyone claims is happening on their sobriety journey. A relapse in addiction is, dude, I was addicted, right? I was really, really dependent on this substance or that person or that chemical or alcohol, whatever. And I was seeking medical support, or I detoxed at home, and I went X amount of days, and I was finally starting to get better. Moving through a physical addiction and emotional dependency, making drastic progress. And then the same thing happens. You go back and they have a drink, and then they're worse than they were before. Worse than they were before. So let's just say they were having 8 drinks a day. They were doing really, really, really well. Stress got to them. They chose to drink. Now they're having 9, 10 drinks. That's a relapse in an addiction. That's a real addiction right there. That's the truth behind it. That's the scientific measure for which we determine if someone is just lapsing on their journey or relapsing in an addiction. A lot of people, they'll sit there and go like, I relapsed because I started drinking again. That's also not a relapse. Just because you're not moving forward doesn't mean you're moving backwards. It means you're right back where you were. Just because you don't prefer that place doesn't mean that you're going backwards. You're just not moving as far as expected. This is full circling back to the middle of this conversation. And he says, dude, I was 149 days without drinking. This happened to me. I decided to drink, and then I got blacked out that night, and then I lost my job the next day because I had meetings and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, so your lapse in your sobriety was heavy enough to have you miss work the next day because you felt like crap. He's like, yeah. I said, okay, what were you doing for those 149 days, man? What were you doing? He says, I didn't change anything. I didn't do anything. And I was like, so you were doing the same things, hanging out with the same people, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings? He's like, yeah. Hey, what's up, Nicole? He's like, dude, I didn't do anything. There was nothing different. I just wasn't drinking. This is why 100% of what I talk about is not about quitting alcohol. I don't care if you drink. I care how you're drinking. I don't drink. I choose not to. There's a lot of successful people here on TikTok that either did or didn't have a problem and choose not to drink alcohol because it literally does nothing for them. The trip with this is if you do nothing with your sobriety, you're wasting it. You're literally wasting your gift. You work so hard to give yourself an opportunity to dramatically improve your quality of life. Quality of life. And you did nothing with it. You're the same person. And if there's no change, shifts, or micro transformations or practices from your last drink, then you are going to always be an alcoholic and act as such and identify as such and always live in fear of your own thoughts. Karan, what's up, bro? You're always going to live in fear of your own thoughts. You're going to live in fear of your own actions. As a matter of fact, that's what we were talking about today. I was like, dude, you barely even trust yourself right now because you've done this numerous times, because you haven't done anything differently. And there's nothing new that's being added to your life. You're just not drinking. That's the thing. And this is why so many people, fuck yeah, dude. I'm going to talk a lot about that over the next couple months. As soon as the channel's up, man, I'm going to tell you guys to click it and watch it. We'll watch it together. It's going to be super dope. I have content that's going to be specifically for Tubi and for the Binge Network. So there's stuff that I don't talk about in Beyond Sober. There's stuff that I don't talk about here on TikTok that'll be exclusively for Tubi and Apple and all that stuff. Beyond Sober is actually going to be on your device now. I believe we're building an app with the OTT platform. So much is happening right now. But this is going back to, once again, what are you actually doing? people look at this and go like, oh, if I get sober, some happiness will happen. If I get sober, like that's the thing that you want. Sober ain't shit. It's hard, but it's not the thing. Like that's not the point. Anyone can get sober. It's difficult. Getting there is the difficult part. The challenge is deciding what you want to do with it, man. You've literally been given a second opportunity at life. And are you content with being somebody that struggles with toxicity, specifically alcohol or any other chemical or substance or person, narcissism, whatever it is? So from that was the big breakthrough. Hey, what's up? What is it? Criddle? Brownson checking in. Love your content. What's up, dude? So stoked to see you. And that's where the magic happens. Is you're not a different person when you stop drinking. You're the exact same person. And that's where the issue lies. And a lot of people don't want to consciously recognize who they are without alcohol because alcohol gives them an excuse to ignore what they don't like about themselves. Damn it! I didn't want to hear that one. Alcohol gives us an excuse to ignore what we don't like about ourselves. Remember, we don't drink because we don't care. We drink because we don't want to care. Oh, I give a shit. I give many shits. So many shits, in fact. I'm bleeding. I care so much that I can't handle my own thoughts and I need a beer, right? That's what happens. And so people, a lot of us, we're afraid to get to that point. And that's because when we get back to that point, which is the reason we started drinking so heavily to start with, when we get back there and we're not using our coping mechanism anymore, we think our life is going to implode. We think it feels, this is the beautiful part about feelings, is it's just a feeling. It feels like the world is crumbling around us and it's inescapable. That inescapable feeling is like it makes you feel like you're a burden, right? It makes it seem hopeless, man. It like your whole moral structure starts to crumble because you're like, when I was drinking, like I just didn't care. Like I could support you because I'm not actually looking at the things that I dislike about you because I really want to like you and I'm buzzed right now. So I'm going to ignore all that stuff. And it's really easy to ignore that stuff because I have alcohol in my body. So because the feeling of intoxication is greater than how much I care about that shitty shit you're saying right now, we could pretend to be friends for a while. That's that compatibility stuff I was talking about. You're cool when I'm drinking. When I'm not drinking, dude, I really don't like you. Like, we're not cool. And I don't want to be cool. Deep down, we're not satisfied with the people or the thing or the whatever it is. And we don't like that feeling and we think we got to get rid of it. We think that getting rid of it is curing it. Getting rid of it is changing something. Getting rid of it is preventing something bad from happening. But how do we get stronger? How do we build the tools? How do we develop the actual, never drink on a first date, 100%, dude. How do we develop the actual practices and techniques that are going to help us process our life in general, in the way that we prefer? It's with practice. It literally, we have to, every single day. I say this because it's so imperative that we understand this. It's a lifestyle, man. Sobriety, like I'm not sober because I don't drink. I can't be sober from something I don't consume. I don't drink. I'm not sober. I'm also not an alcoholic. I used to be, but I don't drink and I don't have a problem with alcohol. So I can't be an alcoholic if I don't have alcoholism and I don't drink, nor do I struggle, nor do I want it. I'm an ex-alcoholic. A lot of us are going to just continue practicing making excuses for ourselves, practice finding reasons why it's okay to be broken. And we're going to use our trauma and we're going to use our pains and anguish and despair to be the backbone of why we feel it's so important to feel like the weakest link. If I accept the fact that I'm the weakest one in the room, then it really doesn't matter what I say or do. Because there's nothing that you can say to me that's going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to feel worse. I've already accepted the fact that I'm a POS. So, whatever. Downs, I was working at it in the top. Hang on. Big fan, man. The damn pandemic caused my drinking. I know I take responsibility, but before lockdown, I was working out. And I get you, bro. I get you. This is why the alcohol industry is popping off right now, man. 247 billion dollars a year is what the alcohol industry is making, and they're not making it off happy people, dude. Happy people. There's no such thing as a happy drunk. Like a truly happy person does not drink to get drunk, does not use alcohol in that manner. They just don't. There are people that act happier when they're drinking, and that's the actual definition of a happy drunk. But no one is actually happy when they're drunk. It's not possible. You can't even feel the chemical cocktail that is happiness if you're under the influence of a false illusion. If you're in an alternate reality, it's not possible to feel truth and the absolute that is you. The trippy part about that is our level of intoxication outweighs our desire for real happiness. Those that have never, you are beyond sober, 100%. Those that have never experienced true happiness think that it's boring, man. Struggling with boredom, though. I know, bro. You're not going to like this. It's your fault. Nothing is boring, dude. You are. Nothing is exciting, man. You are. Like dead serious with this. This is the reality. This is the accountability aspect of this. Is one of the biggest things. This is one of the main reasons why people go back to drinking. It's just so boring. Like I'm just on the couch and it's Call of Duty. I'm just like, I played this like 1,000 times. Go play with frogs, bro. When was the last time you literally climbed a tree, right? You weren't chasing someone else's cat, man. When did you go outside and do some stuff? When was the last time you practiced playing with Legos? There's infinite things that you can do, including nothing. And we find every reason why nothing is entertaining. And we actually don't practice entertaining ourselves. Yo, what's up, man? Pablo. I love my peace and quiet. I used to think it was boredom, but I love it now and need it 100%. I sit with myself every morning, right? I'm up at 5:15. Don't duplicate this. This is very difficult to do, and I'm really good at it. I'm up at 5:15, meditating by 5:20. I'm in meditation for 30 minutes. I'm cooking breakfast. I'm reading like an hour to 2 hours a day. I'm social media. I'm strategizing, building content for like 2 months out. I went for a 2-mile walk today, hit the gym, had lunch, made myself dinner. Dude, like all of these things are on my own, but not by myself. I'm on my own, but I'm not by myself. I'm always with me. The trippy part is, this is why I ask people, dude, if you walked in the room right now, would you be excited to see you? Or would you be like, oh, this fucking guy? If you would be excited to see you, then you're doing really good. You're doing really well. That's the whole mission with sobriety, the state of sobriety, when you're actively practicing the transformation process. That's in sobriety. You eventually you're out of sobriety. You're not sober. It's not an accomplishment anymore. You're good. You're a regular human being. It's just whatever. But if we're not working on becoming the person we'd be excited to see, then we're actively being the person we don't enjoy being around. I'm gonna say that again. If we're not actively becoming the person we'd love to see, then we're actively practicing being the person that we don't prefer. What you don't change, you choose. This sucks because it's so easy to go like, she said this thing. Well, suck it, bro. You don't have to have an emotion. You choose to do that. Emotions are a choice. How do I know this? I choose my emotions very efficiently. This is why I don't have a stressful life. I don't care about 99% of things. But the things I do care about, I care about deeply. I care about you. I want to see you win, man. Like my heart throbs knowing that you're taking care of yourself. I love seeing my neighbors and people and people struggling forward. Even the dudes and the chicks in the gym that are just like punishing themselves and struggling to pick up that weight, man. They are there, man. They're putting in work. It's emotional work, spiritual work, man. They're trying to connect. They're trying to conjure the strength and the energy and the passion and the drive to just pick up that 30-pound weight, dude. That's the work. Picking it up ain't that hard, but like actually reaching for it, that's the difficult part. But when you reach for that shit enough times, when you reach for your future self, when you reach for the better version of you enough times, you eventually become that. And then you realize that it's easy to completely disconnect and just let go of the version of you that helped you turn into that person. There's a lot of respect for the old version of me, because this version would never struggle, would never deal with what he dealt with. Hell no. Hell no. You look at that, like I look at like combat fighters. Ain't for me, dude. Like, or die trying. Yeah, ain't for me. Like I look at like I've known numerous like veterans and like SEAL team, like Marines, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, so not for me. But when I look at my past self, I look at him in the same way. Bro, that is a different person, dude. Like, that ain't me. I would never put myself in that circumstance, dude. If I found myself in that circumstance, dude, I could never fathom myself being there. But he could. He lived there. Like, that was his world. So I mad respect, bro. Hell yeah. Glad you died. That sounds messed up. My point is that he had to die so I can live. Our real life, our second life begins when we realize we only have one. Our real life, our true life begins. Our second opportunity at life begins when we realize we only have one. It's absolute facts, man. Because we're sitting here thinking that something is going to change us, like the trauma did, like the anguish, like the pain did. You said it. We think that happiness, something, some TikTok, some movie, some person is going to show up and transform us into a better version of ourselves, like the pain did. That's the craziest part. And that is the misconception about progress, is forced reflection, right? Car accident, right? Overdose, accident, ill health, whatever. When you're forced to reflect on who you are and what you're doing, then you can get some change. But because negativity is so powerful and pain is so transformative, this is where another misconception comes in, thinking that pain transforms everything all the time. That's why being hard on yourself doesn't work. When something dramatically hurts us, it changes us. That's what a heartbreak is, man. That's what trauma is. That's what grief is. That shit literally rewrites your genetics. Your biochemistry is shifted down to a cellular level. Your body, never mind you tried, your body, it's like you're giving up. Your body literally transforms. Your mind literally reshapes itself, man. It writes new codes, new pathways. It finds new ways. It tries to get around all this stuff. That's what pain does, man. But happiness does the same thing. But the trippy part about that is you can't beat happiness into yourself. You cannot force positive emotions. That's the crazy part, because you just get in there, bro. I wish. That's what we think. We think that at the bottom of this, there's got to be some happiness down here, dude, right? There's got to be, right? If there's pain in here, then there's got to be pleasure, right? I'll just drink more. Like, how about I drink more? And then we find ourselves intoxicated on the illusion that we're happy when we're actually more miserable, forgetting about all the things that are actually needing our attention. The things that really matter to us, we're ignoring because we don't want to deal with it, because the weight of that process is so heavy that we'd rather just do a whole bunch of nothing. So when it comes to happiness, when it comes to success, this isn't just my opinion. These are scientific facts, man. And it sucks that this is a reality, but it is. And I've had to learn this and practice this. Is success and happiness are skills. They're skills. Not Skittles. Skills. Success is a skill, man. Like, not everybody on the planet is going to feel successful. They might feel like levels of achievement. Not everybody on the planet is going to generate happiness. This is because we're all taught that we have to find it. Like, it's out there. Yeah, in narcissistic ways too. I hated my first life. Dude, I was a raging narcissistic POS, man. Deeply programmed from fear and poverty and entitlement, and oh my goodness. But I had to rewrite those codes, man. I had to accept, I had to cry. I still cry. I cried yesterday. I had to really allow myself to feel and move through that shit. And here's the trippy part. If you're not a diagnosed narcissist, you can just be acting as one and not know it. So much toxic masculinity and toxic progression is taught and encouraged, and we're generally surrounded by it. And that's bred by toxic people thinking that toxic shit is just normal. It's not normal to hit your partner. It's not normal to verbally abuse them. It's not normal to do these things. We just laugh at it because we're uncomfortable. And then we just accept all this toxic shit that's actually transforming us from the inside out, and say we have a good relationship because there's less bullshit with this person. Holy crap. So when you realize these things, that damn, I'm actually, damn, the way I think is toxic. Am I the toxic person? That's the question. Am I the toxic person? Is it possible that you're the toxic person? Is there any level that you're the toxic person? Yeah, there's always that level of possibility. But the coolest part, toxic shit is normal these days. They're just levels of acceptance, 100%. This is why module 1 of Beyond Sober is the art of acceptance. And it's talking about 100% about not accepting anybody's toxic shit. And it doesn't matter who it is, dude. No, mom, that's toxic. I remember when I started practicing that with my former, because we were engaged for a few years. And I remember when I started setting my boundaries, this is when we started becoming incompatible, is that she started saying things that I didn't like. And it's not my opinion that I didn't like them. They're not meant to be liked. And what was so just aggravating is that she didn't think that it was wrong at all. She didn't think that anything she was saying had any level of toxicity, when, like, on a language basis, exactly what you just said was emasculating and demeaning and belittling. And you're laughing at it, but that is some toxic shit. And I don't want that. As a matter of fact, if you don't have anything nice to say, then I'm not interested in talking to you. And this is where things started getting real. She stopped talking to me because she had nothing. The talent code, bro, 100%. Because she had nothing nice to say. So she stopped talking. And then that was the beginning of the exiting process. Because I wasn't going to surround myself, whether I loved them or not, with toxic people. Like, I'm just not. I mean, I don't have to, and I don't want to, and it hurts and it sucks, but goodbye. Like, bye. Trust me, I cried, man. It hurt. But it was one of the best things that I ever did for myself, was getting rid of that toxicity. I became addicted to that toxicity. And because of my poor mental health, I accepted the verbal and mental, emotional beatings. It wasn't literal. Those beatings and those feelings, I accepted that and had to convince myself that that is love. And then I knew down to my core that that's not how I wanted to be loved. And that's not how I would love somebody else. So there's something going on here. One of us is, love my page. Thank you so much, man. Been sober since October 18th. Hell yeah. 18th? What is it? Coming up? So what is it? 18, 20? You're almost on 2 weeks, dude. Dude, we're the same amount of sober. 100%. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. So that's the absolute truth with this, man, is mental health, improving it, gives you permission. Still here, bud. Word. Gives you permission to outgrow people you were once compatible with. And unfortunately, every single person that I've ever known that knew me when I was drinking is not in my life anymore. Entire cities are blocked, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Like, I don't care. I'm still cordial. I'm still cool. Like, if I saw you in the street, it would be all right, but I'm not actively reaching out to get to know you. I don't care if you're a new person. I have no obligation to know you. Toxic is toxic, and if I feel you're toxic, then you are. How you feel about me thinking that you're toxic doesn't change the fact that you are toxic in my life, and I don't want you here. These are boundaries. These are truths. My family has been toxic too. My little sister, I love her to death. We are not compatible as people. She is an angry drunk. I believe, hopefully she's still in rehab. Her liver failed too. And then she went back to drinking, and she struggled for a while. And then the last I heard, like 4 months ago, is she went back up to rehab because she just can't stop drinking. That's the difference between what you're doing. That's a perfect example, is that, and there's 2 examples here, is my sister and I suffered the same problems. We were raised in the same household with the same narcissistic, alcoholic, violent conditions in poverty, right? And my sister went and did her thing. She landed on alcohol too. I landed just like me, but we parted ways and we didn't speak for 10 years. 10 years. We didn't even know each other existed. Yet we both ended up doing the exact same things. And that's the repercussions of our conditions growing up, not knowing any better and not having the tools or resources or opportunities or support to do something different. We just accepted the fact that we're pieces of shit. Alcoholism runs in the family. It doesn't matter because at least we'll die drunk and we'll die young. At least we'll die partying. We both of our livers failed. Hers failed a year and a half after mine did. But a year and a half after mine did, I'd already been working on myself for a year and a half. I didn't touch a drink because the doctors told me, dude, if you drink, you'll die. Well, I don't want that. So what I did after recovering or while recovering is the reason why I'm here today. What my sister did was found reasons why she's okay, why it's fine, why she's fixed. She did nothing different. She went right back to the same people. She changed nothing about her life. She continued thinking the same thoughts. She continued feeling the same feelings. And eventually that led back to her taking the same action. And then once she started drinking again, here's the full circle. Dude, you're a statistic now. You're a statistic. You went to UCLA, the top medical facility in like all of California, like globally renowned, and they saved your life. And you just went right back to drinking. This is why sober doesn't guarantee anything. That's the difference between the mindset between my sister and I. My sister won't even take the Beyond Sober program. It's free. She could take it. Like, I'll build her one personally. She won't work with me. She won't take the program. My mom is a member of Beyond Sober. She's an alcoholic. 2.5, almost 3 years sober now after going through Beyond Sober. My mother, dude. I used to sit in parking lots and she would cry. I just knocked my teeth out. There's blood all over the floor, man. I'm so sorry. And she would just bawl. And I would listen to my mother throw her voice out. And you hear teardrops into the phone. And I'm just sitting in a parking lot waiting for my fiance to come out of the hospital because she worked there. And I'm just holy crap. But it's not free. You can get Beyond Sober for free. Actually, as a matter of fact, like most people, Beyond Sober, you can get it for $20. Here's the thing with financial things. We're willing to go buy 25 of these. We're willing to buy 12 cases of water. We're willing to buy a bottle of vodka, 2 bottles of vodka. We're willing to buy 12 20 packs. But we won't spend $20 on our fucking future. That is absolute proof that what I've created is designed specifically for you. If you struggle finding reasons why your health and happiness isn't worth $20, that's why it's worth $20 fucking dollars. If you want it for free, you could have it for free. The trippy part about Beyond Sober and getting it for free is you have no accountability. You don't care. You didn't invest in it. It doesn't matter. You sought the quickest route to the freest thing with the largest hope that it's going to transform you. You don't actually care. That's why it's not going to work for you. You get it for free. But those that are actually committed, they will get sober and then they come back and buy a membership later because they're going to unlock it for life. You think that like now that I'm on TV and I've got all these different things going on that Beyond Sober is not going to evolve and change and grow? It's revolutionary. So if you can't find a reason why you're worth $20, then it's for you. I struggle with that too. I would never buy a $20 banana until I tasted one. I'm telling you, a $20 banana tastes way better than a 69-cent banana. Until you buy a $20 banana, you're always going to take the free or 69-cent banana, dude, and think that that's as good as it gets. This is because we're not taught how to invest in ourselves. Beyond Sober, listen to this. When I first created Beyond Sober, because hundreds of thousands of people asked me how to quit drinking, it was $5 fucking dollars. $5. Are you willing to buy me a cup of coffee for my 20 years of experience and thousands of hours of design and community and support and resources and everything? You're willing to buy me a cup of coffee? It was those people at the very beginning of Beyond Sober that were willing to offer me a single cup of coffee that funded the build of this revolutionary sobriety program that people can't find a reason to invest in. The only way that this program continues expanding is if you contribute to yourself and invest in yourself. You expanding you. Jamie, what's up? You investing in yourself is helping other people get the tools and resources that they need as well. As a matter of fact, every single time somebody buys a membership, their one goes out for free. Every time someone signs up, unlocks the entire program, or decides to work with me, that's another membership that's been prepaid for someone that is struggling. So if you want to find reasons why sobriety should be free, then why are you paying for misery? That's the truth with all this shit. Until we practice investing in our time with our finances, with our energy, and our time, money, energy, until we find reasons why we're worth it, we're always going to be the one not getting the support, blaming everyone else that's succeeding. I'm not winning because everyone else is. Bitch, start winning. Do shit and get shit. You do nothing, you get nothing. You find reasons why it's not possible, you will be right. And you are right. It's not possible because you're the only one. Correct? This is that toxic mindset. This is also why AA doesn't work. Trust me, dude. If you had to pay to go to AA, you would take that shit way more seriously. Way more seriously. Maybe you'd show up and go like, at least I'm gonna get my money's worth. I don't mind sitting in a room full of people and like feeling like a part of a cult. I paid to be here because it's obviously a resource. And okay, so don't you think you're gonna give a little bit more of your attention to what's being shared in the group? But it's a prison, but it's forced, but you don't want to be there, but it's not fun. And because of that, money sucks. And because of that, there's more people suffering in silence than there's people actually getting the support that they need. And so there's also this, if there is anybody that's struggling financially and wants access to the Beyond Sober program, just go to sponsormysobriety.com, drop your information. As soon as a membership unlocks, you can have it, dude. Yeah, I want you to win. I actually want you to do everything better than me. I want you to get involved. I want you to take it. I want you to show me what's working, what's not working. I want you to show me new approaches. Maybe you're the one that transforms the entire program because you decided to take it. You're not broken, man. You're an equal contributing factor to the reason Beyond Sober exists. Beyond Sober isn't a thing. It is you. You are, I am, Jamie is Beyond Sober. Beyond Sober is the final destination before the rest of your life begins. It is the beginning. How are you giving personal support? I work with people every single day, one-on-one, and I haven't done group sessions yet because people don't like groups, and it's not really that effective. But every day I meet with people. I have a very selective list of people that I'm working with right now. My calendar is still open. Anybody that would enjoy working with me personally, just like this, but very specific and private, feel free to hit the website and click the link in my bio. You'll see a little button that says apply. Just drop that information. Everything that you need is right there. And then as soon as you leave your info, it's just like 3 questions to help me gauge where you're at. It'll send you to my calendar and you pick a time. And please do me a favor and show up. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the other thing. This is another thing. This goes back to not wanting to pay for anything. Because I don't charge to talk to me, people don't show up. There's no accountability. So I'm sitting here for 45 minutes waiting for someone to show up, and they never show up. It's a no call, no show, no message, no nothing. So I just spent an hour waiting with a slot that someone who is really struggling and ready to show up doesn't have access to. That's the reality with this, man. But if I charge you $100 to connect with me, you bet you would show up. But the unfortunate part about that is if people can afford $100 to talk to me, they could afford the entire Beyond Sober program and unlock the bonus module for the same price. So it's, you got to pick your poison. But you have to invest in yourself, man. There's no level of accountability if your wallet isn't involved. I have to do this every single day. I got to spend money to gain opportunities. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm friends with Trisha. Yeah, Trisha's amazing. I'm so excited that so many people are resonating with Trisha. If you know Trisha, Mama of Wolves, it took her 6 months to graduate through Beyond Sober. And this isn't because it takes 6 months. It really only takes a week. But it's designed to be about 6 weeks because there's 6 areas that we focus on. If you were to take one module a week, it would take you 6 weeks roughly. But she ended up bouncing all over the place. She had a lot going on, but she continued showing up. She continued doing the homework. She continued being active in the community. And then she found everything. She did all of the work. She became not just sober, but far beyond sober in a few months after that. And then even though she was sober, she realized that it's not about getting sober. It's about what she does with her sobriety. And so that's when she continued moving through the program, graduated, and now she's the peer support specialist for the most powerful sobriety program on earth. But not only that, is I'm actively working with her to design her own version of Beyond Sober, dude. She's got her own amazing community that resonates with her. She's transforming. I remember when she was on TikTok with like 1,000 followers. She has 100,000 followers. She is absolutely destroying the mental health industry and showing people what happiness and the place beyond sobriety really looks like. She is beyond sober. Ray is beyond sober. Paulina is beyond sober. Who else is in here? So many people. And that's the absolute truth. So now Trisha is working with me strategically to be able to deliver her own program in her own way to help her community. So that means that Trisha's going to be on TV. She's been sharing it. Kansas, yes, you. Drop Trisha handle pretty please. It's Mama of Wolves. MOMMA of Wolves. WOLFES. It's not wolf with a V. Mama of WOLFES. And you'll see her. She's got that red hat, red hair. She's a beast, dude. But also she's got a lot that she's working with. And she came from being this space. Like she's officially in this place where people are just gravitating towards her because she has a story unlike anyone that I've ever heard. And our lead sobriety coach, Sammy, she's dealt with things that most people on the planet aren't going to deal with repeatedly. She's our lead trauma coach. Grief and anxiety and all that stuff, man. So when someone's going through like a real heartbreak, like a loss in the family, she is the one that we send people to. And that's because she is so good at what she does. She has something called the Grief Atlas, which is the actual mechanics of the mind and how to navigate exactly where you are to get where you really want to go, your preferred state of being. She's off the chain, man. Everybody that works with Beyond Sober has struggled with addiction, struggled with alcoholism, and has reached a state far beyond sobriety. They are literally walking examples of what health and happiness looks like and a shining example of what life beyond sobriety really is. People building like nonprofit organizations, people that are straight up transforming hundreds of thousands of people's lives every single day. That's the power behind taking care of yourself. You got to. There's so many of us that are taught how to destroy ourselves, but are not taught how to love ourselves. And this goes back to the conversation. So I'm full circling back to the conversation today. This is ADHD at its finest, y'all. Basically, damn it. I forgot what I was going to say. I was on a run. Did you go through ascites? I did, dude. Thank you for asking. So that's a new topic. I know what I was going to say. Ascites, if you guys don't know what ascites is, that's swelling of your abdomen and the retaining of fluid. So I look like 9 months pregnant. My stomach was distended. There's a picture of me floating around on TikTok that shows my big pregnant belly. It kind of looked like, you know, those older dudes that drink a ton of beer and they got that big beer belly. I had that. And that happened the day after I was starting to go into liver failure. Started swelling up. The ascites sucked. My wrists were swollen, my ankles, my neck. It was really, really, really bad. And they put me on water pills for almost 6 months. And so I was peeing like every couple minutes, man. It sucked, man. I didn't get any pancreatitis, but I did have hepatitis. That was cured. Um, I had stage 4 cirrhosis. I think based on my what I've done since the hospital, I've healed my liver as close to 100% as possible. I still have damage there, but it's not enough damage for me to actually worry about it. Oh, dude, thank you so much. Disco, I gotta hang those lights up. I got those exact lights sitting right there. I gotta hang them up. This is my new place. But yeah, so this all goes back to full circling with what you do since your last drink. And so talking to my homie today, he's like, dude, I changed nothing. And that's why he decided to work with me, is he's going, I'm ready to start doing things, new things, to get new results. Because if we keep doing the same old stuff or trying 1,000 things, we're not going to get any results with the things that are going to move us forward. We continue reaching in every direction instead of having a clear path designed specifically for you. That's where the real growth happens. You're broken? I believe you. I believe you because you believe that. Even the most broken of people are healing. You gotta remember this. You're not broken. You're healing. You're just paying attention to how little of the healing you recognize, so you identify as broken. Nobody is broken, right? There are people who are, we'll say, inconvenienced, but the reality is anything that is broken can be put back together. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. Everything is temporary, including that feeling of broken. That's the beautiful part, is it's just a feeling. But what if you felt like you're not broken, that you're healing, that you're actually getting better? If you believe that, would you still say that you're broken? Do I do AA? I don't do AA because I do the Beyond Sober program. Beyond Sober is the alternative to 12-step programs. There's not 12 steps in sobriety. Technically, there's 3, but to make it easy, I break it into 6. Here's the 6 things, man. We'll talk about this. There's 6 things, 6 areas of your life that you've got to focus on within that state of sobriety. You can get sober. I'm not worried about that shit. You do it. You want to do it? You'll do it. Every single person that wanted to get sober or wants to get sober was convinced wholeheartedly that they were broken, they couldn't do it, and they're the only one that's not going to get it done. And then they did it, just like every other person. So getting sober isn't my concern. It's what you do with that sobriety. So here's what you do with that sobriety to guarantee that you are not the same person that's going to struggle with alcohol or substances, toxicity, whether that's toxic thoughts, toxic feelings, toxic people, toxic chemicals, whatever. Acceptance. Ray, you know all about this, bro. Acceptance. We have to practice the art of acceptance. When you accept things for what they are, you don't find reasons to punish yourself for what they're not. Okay? Can someone with alcoholism be with someone that drinking isn't a problem for them? Yes, but let's talk about that in a second. You have to accept shit. It is what it is, bro. Like, this is just summarizing the art of acceptance. It is what it is. How you feel about it doesn't change the fact that it is. And I learned this in the hospital because I was just a number. The doctors didn't care how I felt about what was happening. They're there to prevent me from dying. It doesn't matter how I feel. My emotions aren't the deciding factor on whether or not I need surgery or whether or not I've hurt myself or whether or not I'm going to live or not to live. My thoughts don't fix anything. And I could beat myself up as much as I want, and I could cry, and I could do all this crap. I could get angry at the doctors. It doesn't change the fact that I was dying. Doesn't matter. I had to learn to accept that it is what it is, right? It doesn't matter that the doctor looked a certain way and that the nurses were laughing at me, that I had ports put in my body, that I was bleeding, that my insides was black, that I went into cardiac arrest, that I passed on. None of that matters. It doesn't change anything. It's just information for me to recognize, all right? I have to accept this. So when we practice accepting things for what they are, we stop looking at things and going like, I wish it was different. That means the guilt and the shame and the bullshit and the drama that we continue creating dissipates because you accept it. It is what it is. And if you could accept things for what they are, then you're not going to be punishing yourself emotionally. And if you're not punishing yourself emotionally, then you don't have another reason to drink. That's just module 1. That's the art of acceptance, which is a practice, right? Module 2 is habits. Every single thing you think, say, do, and feel is a habit. That is that auto thought. You have a habit. It's an accidental programming through your state of survival and environment that has led you to think very specific things, to have very specific feelings, so you can take very specific actions. This is why, look at how you're holding the phone right now. What position are you in? How many times have you been in that position? Did you consciously put yourself there? Are you nodding? Did you actively change? Ah, Mama Wolf's in the building. What up, girl? I was just blowing you out of the water, girl. You're going to be on TV soon, tell you what. Dude, I'm so stoked. Hey, I was just talking about Mama of Wolves. You can see her right here. She says, hey, superstar, follow Mama of Wolves, man. Like, she is live every single day. She's so live that we have to build a program for her just to be able to reach the amount of amazing human beings. What's up, Ziggy? Amazing human beings who are actively seeking her personal support. So I'm so stoked, man. You don't miss. So the trip with this is your habits, man. Like the way I pass this, the way I sit, the way I grab this, the way I do these things, there's a habit. It's a program. It's an auto running factor that drives our behavior. So remember this. This is why I asked earlier, when was the last time you actually thunk a thought, like you were thinking it on purpose? Because most of what we do all day long, including driving, does not ask you to think. You don't have to think. Unless there was something spilled, and even in that case, you don't have to think. So we have these habits, these written codes, these auto thoughts that are habitual, called habitual thinking, that happens. And because those thoughts are in our mind, we think that that's something that we have to act upon. I thought that thought, it must be me, and I don't like that. There's something wrong with me, so I'm going to have anxiety. I'm going to focus on my depression, or I'm going to do this, that, and the other, or I'm going to get lost, or I'm going to drink, I'm going to call that person, I'm going to try and escape it, I'm going to go do this, that, and the other. Generally, we start self-sabotaging, all because of stupid habits we didn't create intentionally. That's the trippiest part about just habits in general. That's why week 2 is just recognizing your habits, man. You don't know how many habits you have until I call them out. And then you're like, oh my God, right? Week 3 is developing new healthy habits, all right? And that is the first one, which I start with you in module 1, is drinking water. I don't care if you're bored. I don't care if you're excited. I don't care if you got nothing to do. You got everything to do. A new healthy habit is serving your body with water. You keep that water on you, around you. Put it at the front door, put it near the TV, put it near the back door, put it in the bathroom. Every time you see it, you drink it. Every time you have a good thought, you serve it. Every time you have a bad thought, you serve it. Water, water, water. It's all about developing new healthy habits, man. Healthy habits are power. But the reality with this is we think that the habits that we do have are healthy. We think that most of the habits that we have are healthy because they're not necessarily hurting us. So if they're not hurting us, then they must be doing something good for us, right? But just because you're not doing something bad doesn't mean you're doing something good. This is why just because somebody, like Dahmer, just because he's not killing someone doesn't make him less of a serial killer. Dude's a murderer. He's just not killing right now. Just because he decided to quit doesn't make him good. See what I'm saying? So not doing something bad isn't doing something good. We get lost in this. We get conditioned in this, dude. Was introduced you with. Drink water, dude. What was I introduced you with? Drink water? Yeah, dude. Actually own a brand called Drink Water. If you guys are even remotely curious, Drink Water, DRNKWATR. You go to drinkwater.com. These shirts and hats and all that stuff, they're all just like water reminders. And so that's the trip, is we think that our life, because we're paying attention to it, is packed with healthy habits. When in all actuality, a majority of those habits, yeah, exactly, man. A majority of those habits are just old habits that we picked up, that we believe heavily in, but still aren't working for us. And a lot of those healthy habits, or the misconception of the habits we have, is keeping us stuck. And so that's what week 3 is. It's all about healthy habits, man. Like actually starting and practicing, developing, and deciding what type of habits you want to have. Like getting up at 5:15 and making your bed, drinking water. One new healthy habit, right? Remember, this is what you do after you get sober. You start this through the beginning of your sobriety, but you continue it. Then week 4, this is where most people think they have to start. And this is why I don't even touch it until you're a month in on this. is most people are going to go to therapy and talk about their trauma. And they're going to talk about their pain and anxieties and depression. And they're going to speak to somebody who's going to help them figure out why they feel the way they feel. And then maybe, and this, someone told me this recently, they just threw a bunch of pills and a couple pamphlets at me and said, fix your shit. Hang on, I got to hear this. We have to stop going back to what's comfortable and start new things. 100%. You got to do new things to get new results. When I'm in the gym and I'm looking at people just picking weights up, I'm going, dude, you're getting average results because you're doing average things. And then you look at my shoulders, you look at the way I'm conditioned, you look at me upside down, I'm kicking my feet are all over the place doing ninja stuff. I'm not doing typical things. I'm doing atypical things, things that you don't do often. So I'm getting atypical results. I'm getting above average results. So if you want above average results in sobriety, you have to do above average shit. But the reality with above average things in sobriety is just doing basic things well. That's the truth with sobriety, is it's not magical. It's doing the basics of life really fucking well. Eat good food, drink more water, sleep more, shut the fuck up. Like, that's it. Going on to week 4. This is why a lot of people will go to therapy and then come hang out with me instead, is because therapy, do it scared. Therapy is going to help you figure out why, get to the base of these things, but it doesn't figure out the who. It doesn't actually get you to this space where you realize which version of you is driving the vehicle of your life, okay? Week 4 is called Back to the Future. Back to the Future is how we look at our trauma, our past, our PTSD, the anguish, the pain, the turmoil, right? The bumpy roads from a new perspective. What did we talk about in Module 1, Week 1? Acceptance. We are now looking at our trauma and the shit that we identify with and the things that we've been using as the excuse to continue hurting ourselves, self-sabotaging and punishing our minds and bodies. Mod 4, from a new, healthy perspective. Sleep more. Dude, the reality with this is, this is the key phrase that homie was saying today, is reframe. He's like, that was a great reframe, man. This is why I want to work with you. It's the reframe. Right. When we reframe the story that you've been telling yourself about your past, it becomes empowering to you, because you're looking at this space and going, not only do I accept things and I'm not punishing myself for what they are, I recognize all of my old habits and I'm capable of seeing them as they arise, and I understand how I develop them. I've already started developing new healthy habits, and I'm excited about the results I'm getting. And now I'm looking at my past from a completely unique perspective and accepting things for what they are. Each specific area that I'm talking about here helps you step through sobriety to the destination of Beyond Sober, where sobriety isn't a thing anymore, right? That's it. I'm signing up. I love it. Dude, check it out, beyondsober.org, or hit the link in my bio, drop your information, whatever you want to do. That's Module 4, man. Because I'm not going to sit here and go like, well, tell me about what happened. This is also why when I meet with people, I say, hey, what's up? How'd you get here? And then they always ask this. Well, do you want to start with like my childhood? Do you want to start with like, I'm like, bro, how are you? Where are you? Like, none of that matters, dude. The point is that you're struggling. What are you struggling with right now? Who cares about the why, bro? Like that, it does not matter how you got here. The point is what is motivating you right this second to be on call with me, to hang out with me? You're an official member of the Beyond Sober program. How the hell did you get there? Because of this thing, because you don't like that feeling, because whatever. This is where so many people, so many of us are, we'll talk about rehab. We're conditioned to think, if I solve my trauma, then I can be happy. What if I told you that your trauma solves itself when you give yourself permission to be happy? We think that our trauma is the thing that's preventing us from happiness. Because if the trauma, which you're always going to have, it's like a scar, it's not going anywhere. If you heal the scar, which is impossible, you can be happy. That is a fucking lie. It is a lie. And a lot of people give their attention to that, thinking like, oh, if you fix this. There's a lot of people that struggle deeply, wholeheartedly, and it's really, really ingrained, and it is difficult. and they may work their entire lives. I've worked with people that have been through some things that I'm like, I can't help you with that. Like, that is like deep, like psychological burns, man. And a lot of people also think that they are broken. They think they arrive either in the program or on a call with me thinking that they are broken, thinking that their trauma is worse than that guy's. They think it's worse than mine. I don't talk much about my trauma. As a matter of fact, there's a reason why my brain has completely blocked out a majority of my childhood. I don't know what my brain witnessed. I know what I do remember isn't good, so I can only imagine how bad it was. I'm not saying that for comparison, but the point is that you're not the fucking one. You are not the guy. You're not that chick. You're not that guy, pal, that has so much insane fucking trauma that you are literally genetically just genetically, I don't know how to say it, broken. You're not that one. You're not. Why aren't you in a science laboratory? How are you not in a psychiatric facility? If you really have that much trauma, they wouldn't let you outside. You'd be a danger to other people, right? Or yourself. And if you're here listening to me, you're not that guy. You're just not. Because those that know feel 100% that there is absolutely no hope, and their entire future and the rest of what they choose to call their existence is going to be living in absolute hell, wouldn't be here right now. Why would you even try? Why would you even be here? Don't you think it'd be more torture listening to me, giving you all the answers, and you knowing that you're the only one that can't do it? Damn, why are you here? If you're the genetic human being that's completely rewritten the code in their mind and you can't do it, then I must be creating trauma in your mind right now with all of the absolute facts that are going to help you actually rewrite that code and transform your entire existence. These are facts. Back onto module 4, right? Back to the future. So now that you're not punishing yourself with all these things, preach. Now that you're not punishing yourself and using your trauma as a reason to drink, but you're using it as a fuel source to thrive, hands up, surrender not to give up, surrender to accept, to initiate a change, to make shit happen. 100%. You cannot go find happy and nobody can hand it to you. 100%. Then we get into week 5 of this, right? Week 5 is 10xing your success, okay? This is taking everything that you've basically practiced over the last 4 weeks, which is the art of acceptance, recognizing habits or killing old habits, developing new habits, back to the future, which is processing trauma from a new perspective, and then 10 times, getting 10 times the results, tripling down on everything you love, literally giving yourself permission to be happy. Trisha, you remember this moment, dude. You know when you're like, holy shit, I'm happy. Does anybody else, like Ray, if you're still here, I remember this, man. I remember being in the gym and just boom, it just unlocked for me. I got chills thinking about it. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I can do fucking anything. Holy crap. I'm like flooded with success, flooded with progress. Hey, K-Max Factor, what's up, girl? Flooded with possibility. And I'm like, I'm, dude, holy crap. Everything is good now. I love my life. I love where I'm at. I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm going. I love this. I'm not struggling. It's not a thing. I'm not sober because I don't feel broken. Like all this stuff. It's just this rush. It unlocks. This is why I tell everybody, do not expect a specific result at a specific time with a specific thing. Trisha, it took you 6 months, man, but you unlock that state. And once you unlock that state with persistence, which is what successful people have, persistence, you unlock that state. And even after unlocking that state of being, you still continue through the program. And then that state of being led you to 2 other programs. And now you have your own program in the making. And now you're an advocate for mental health on one of the most powerful social media platforms on earth, dude. That is what beyond sobriety is. There's a place far beyond sobriety, and it's way easier to get there, but it depends on what you do since your last drink. Or if you are still drinking, if you're drinking casually, you have a healthy relationship with it, you could still improve your quality of life while drinking. Here's the last thing. That's 10xing. That's week 5. Week 6 is life beyond sobriety. This is next level shit. This is where we talk about fitness, we talk about nutrition, we talk about mindset and all these other things. You're basically the emperor slash empress of your entire existence at that point. And Trisha, I remember having a conversation with you when you're like, I feel like I'm outgrowing my kids. I feel like I'm moving so much further. I feel so ahead of all these things and all these people. I feel like I feel lonely now that I'm so happy. Like I should be happier with my kids and I should be happier with my guy. And I'm just so lonely now, bro. You remember that shit, right? And I'm just lonely. And then what happens is you go like, holy crap, okay, that's the peak of your success. That's your identity crisis. That's the I did it. That is the moment that we're all ready for or preparing for. And it is on the way. If you're here now, it is on the way. This is a part of your process. Whether you decide to join Beyond Sober, whether you decide to get a shirt, whether you decide to just start practicing, drinking more water, whether you decide to get the download, whether you decide to work with me, whatever. I don't care whether you decide to go to AA, rehab, detox, it doesn't matter. If you're here and you're thinking about it, it's on the way. This is a part of the process. If this wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't be here. If it wasn't resonating with you, you wouldn't see parts of yourself in me. These are absolute facts. And that's because we are more similar than we are different. I'm so proud of how far I've come. I want everyone else to feel proud too. Dude, that's so badass, right? It's so cool. And a lot of people that are in a low state, they look at people who are thriving and happy and go like, because I used to do this and be like, fuck them. Why are they so special? Dude, they practice happiness. Like that's the difference. They practice happiness. And so this is before I forget it. This is going back to, you asked about rehab. Rehab is great. Detox is great. I've worked with numerous rehab facilities. We've kind of lost touch just because I've taken a back seat and I've been working on the admin stuff of Beyond Sober. But rehab is phenomenal. Now, here's the thing. The cat that I was working with today, I'm so excited to get to work with him every week. He has gone to rehab numerous times. And that is the subliminal resource that he uses to continue punishing himself. And what I mean by that is just because there's a Band-Aid doesn't mean it's okay to cut yourself. Doesn't mean it's a good idea. This was an accident. I was cutting an onion for my burrito. It was really good. I took myself to dinner in my kitchen today, right? I cut myself. But the thing is I'm not sitting here cutting wildly because I know I have a Band-Aid. I'm not sitting here going like just cut this onion. I'm not just dripping tears of onion and then just like, fuck it, if I cut my finger off, like there's a hospital. That's the reality. Is so many of us, especially when we feel bad or feel starting to become worse, is we go, it's okay, I'll wait for a problem. It's okay, there's a hospital. It's okay, I'll just go to rehab. It's okay, I'll go to detox. It's okay, there's a T. It's okay, I know a guy. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then every time we say it's okay, we're practicing procrastination. And within that time, it takes for you to get hit with another sense of reality with how bad it actually is. You've caused more damage. Now, when it's detrimental, like you've lost your job or you've lost part of your health or whatever, then you go to rehab. And here's the crazy part. You get out of rehab and you are the exact same person. Exact same person. When I got out of the hospital, do you think in any capacity whatsoever that I was a different person? I was rolled out of the hospital. I lost my ability to walk, dude. It took me 18 months to recover. I wasn't a different person. DZ Fierce in the building. Another Beyond Sober alumni. What's up, girl? Hey, did you hear we're on TV now? Oh, shit. I'll let you know. We'll talk about that later. I wasn't a different person. I was equally not a different person as anybody else that goes to AA or goes to rehab. When you exit that building, and I don't care if it's a hospital, I don't care if it's a rehab, I don't care if it's AA. When you get out, you are the same. That is the problem. That is the problem. Alcohol is a symptom of low mental health. You've been struggling for so long. The only viable option for you has been alcohol. That brief state of relief that you've been itching for, that's been getting your attention undoubtedly as often as you could possibly imagine. Because you've been in pain, man. right? That's the issue, is that you are the same person. As a matter of fact, not drinking alcohol means that you no longer have a coping mechanism that you prefer. This is where we swap substances. This is where people go like, fuck, I'll just latch on to a narcissist. He could give me a hit of cortisol and I'll get a flush of dopamine, and maybe that contrast will make me feel like I'm growing. Lots of pain, right? 2,730 days sober. Goodness gracious, that's amazing, dude. I'm so proud of you. And so that's his whole thing, man, is he's been to rehab twice. And now he's in the spot where he's like, rehab doesn't fix anything. Like, it may stop you from going too far, but like, that was the other thing, is they're like, dude, I did a week in rehab and they wanted me to stay for 30 days, but I was going to lose my job, man. I have to make money. I didn't want my family to say these things. I had friends that were depending on me, all this stuff. And so even though he drank like a couple weeks ago or whatever it was, he's still talking about rehab. Like he still didn't believe in it, in the same way that people don't believe in AA these days. AA is 87 years old. 87, dude. Like, that's not knowledge, man. That's what is that called? I want to say degradation. That's dissipation. That's crumbling. You would think that it would grow into a super force, but no, there's a reason why it's a punishment. There's a reason why most of the people that go to AA aren't alcoholics. They're not. You're not an alcoholic because you have a problem with alcohol. Because you choose to drink like an alcoholic doesn't mean you are one. As a matter of fact, if an alcoholic is going to AA, they're in the last place that they need to be in. They need real medical support. They need fucking support, dude. Like, on a medicinal level, they need real support, right? That's what an alcoholic is doing. People that are drinking heavily or have found themselves in awkward situations, or they enjoy partying, or everyone calls them an alcoholic, or they got a DUI that one time, that none of that makes anybody an alcoholic. And this is where the stigma behind alcoholic is such a detrimental force in society, man. I'm not drinking tonight. Hell yeah, dude, drink your water. I'm proud of you. Dude, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with drinking as long as it's improving your life, dude. It's a poison. We can consume the poison in minimal amounts, but too much of that poison and we get drunk. Even more of that poison and we black out. Even more of that poison and we injure our bodies. As a matter of fact, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I've written out about, like, all of the absolutely devastating effects. Like, now it's linked to cancer. It's linked to, like, fibromyalgia. Did you know women are more likely to have liver issues than men? Even though, dude, the new studies that are out are just absolutely insane. And we're all, I was talking to homie and he's like, dude, like, I used to work for a liquor store. You look so happy, my friend. It's good to see you. Thank you, man. I'm super duper happy. This is what happiness looks like, man. You're so right. It's poison. That's why it's called alcohol poisoning, man. Like, there's water poisoning, too much of that stuff. But the point is like, more people are going to get alcohol poisoning than anything else. The reality with all of these things is that if we're not taking advantage of the time and space that we have here in this life, then we're creating our own personal hell, man. Am I single? I am not. We're creating our own personal hell because we think we deserve it, man. And going back to what he was saying, he's like, dude, that's what he was saying. He's like, he was in that space. He was super duper duper low, and he used that personal hell to validate why he was drinking so much. And he came up, he was like, my girlfriend broke up with me. I lost my job. I did this and this. All of that is related. It's because of alcohol. Anyway, the point is that when he used to work at a liquor store and deliver it. And he says, dude, we're like legal drug dealers. Alcohol is a drug, man. It's a drug and a poison. 100%. It is legal to consume. It is legal to imbibe. And we're all encouraged to do that. And we're not taught how to take things seriously. We're not taught how to respect the poison for what it is. Now, I've been reading Think and Grow Rich for the past couple of days, and they talked about drinking alcohol, how it is a primary downfall for most people in highly successful places. I have made stupid amounts of money, lost it all, lost my house, car, 2-story stuff. I've lost it all, right? all because I thought that alcohol was a binding agent to my success. I thought it destroys everything. But that's if you're not using it as the tool that it is. This is not what I'm preaching 5 days a week. Yes, poison, right? And so if we're not utilizing it as the tool that it is, then we're actively allowing it to control and run our life. And this brings up the concept and the reality of empathy for those struggling within the realm of alcoholism or AUD, alcohol use disorder, because it's a range. Some people are struggling harder than others. Some people are on the verge of struggling. But the point is that it is imperative that we drink like we care about tomorrow. We need to drink like we care about tomorrow. Dead serious. That's the reality. And I was talking to Brienne recently. It has the control. Can't let it subtract from your life. Right? I'm an ex-alcoholic, and I'm powerful over my addiction. That's amazing. I was talking to Brienne, and she's never struggled with toxins or anything like that, and she drinks wine and she has casual, drinks from here and there, and she's like, every time someone asks me to go out, my first thought wasn't what are we drinking? You got to bounce, Ray? Dude, regular time for your lives now. You will see me a little bit more around this time, dude. Trust me, man, I'm working on so much. I'm trying to reserve some of my energy and not let my voice box go out. You guys have heard me when my voice disappears, dude. I'm reading to myself for like 2-3 hours a day, man. So I'm using my voice a lot. But yeah, I'll be in and out roughly around this time. You will see a lot more of me. Oh, we got 8 subscribers, dude. Hell yeah. Obviously, I'm trying to get to 100. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, so anyway, I asked Brianna, I was like, she says, my first thought when someone asks me to go out is, what are my plans tomorrow? She says that she looks at her plans and goes, okay, well, I'm not with my son. Or if I am with my son, I'll have to make arrangements. The point is that she's never asked, or her first thought has never been, what are we drinking? How fat are we going to get? Where are we going? What are we doing? Her first thought is, what does tomorrow look like for me? Is it a healthy idea? Healthy isn't just like whether or not it's bad or not. Healthy is a lifestyle. Is this going to contribute to my existence, or is this going to make my life a little bit more difficult? Anything that makes your life worth difficult isn't necessarily worth doing unless it's along the path of least resistance. And that's the trip, is most of us go, fuck it, I'll just drink more tomorrow. Oh, I'll just show up late. It's okay, I'm good at this. Oh, I don't get hangovers. Oh, and we find all these reasons why the pain of tomorrow is worth the fun of today. Fuck. That is just, oh man, I can't even tell you how many times I've had that thought. Oh, it's cool, dude. It's cool. Just eat some cinnamon. There's a video on TikTok going viral right now. See my voice. Going viral of this guy that's going, hey, how to prevent a hangover. So if you're going to go out and party, do this. Take milk thistle. Do these things. And I'm sitting here going, there's like 4 other things that will actually help you do that. And not once did you mention water. Not once did you mention food. Not once did you mention nutrition. You talked about milk thistle, and you talked about some other random thing, and none of that is good for you. See, Ray, I love you, man. Appreciate you, brother. None of that is going to improve your life, but it's also not going to prevent damage, right? So we look at these things and go like, well, how much fun am I willing to have today against the pain that I believe is worth it tomorrow? Sometimes we create so much pain that the only answer to that is more alcohol. And that's unfortunately how I became an alcoholic, is I was continuously drinking so heavily that the pain of tomorrow was worth the relief of tomorrow with more alcohol. That's when you get wrapped up, man. Can I be so? We love you, bro. Thank you. And so that's the whole conditioning, man. Like overindulging. It doesn't matter what we're into, right? At all. Because I made the jump. I'll see you next week. Woo! I'm so excited. That means you're on the calendar. Fuck yeah. I haven't looked at anything yet. I'm so stoked. Dude, I'm so stoked to hang out with you. So stoked to meet you. Congratulations. Welcome to Beyond Sober. Unless you just dropped an application and you're just applying to work with me. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything yet. It looks like you applied. Super stoked. So we can follow her lead. So if you guys are thinking about working with me, or you want to jump into the Beyond Sober program, or you just want to take a look, whether you want to have a chat with me or apply to actually work one-on-one with me, just like most of the people that are really ready for a change, then you can hit that link in my bio. It just asks you a couple questions. You'll see the BSO website, but then a pop-up will show up and say, hey man, is there anything specifically I can help you with? I'm going to send over all the tools you need so you don't even need me. There's a recovery guide. There's single shot method, 150 key point master list, also in Beyond Sober. There's a sobriety quiz. There's, dude, so much stuff is in there just for connecting with me. So hit that link in my bio. If we're not connected already, or you'd like to stay up to date, please share your information. I just signed the contract, and I just created all the digital assets for Tubi, for Apple, for Android, for all these different things. And that was my focus today, was making sure that I had all the material. So to be on these TV shows, to have my own 24/7 sobriety support, dudes. This is way bigger than I'm making it out to be, man. Imagine you're struggling with sobriety. Imagine you're in the pits of your despair and you're like, I just want to get sober. And then you flip on Tubi to a channel called Beyond Sober. And then it's just me going like, hey, what's up? You still drinking? You still doing that shit? And it's me helping you, regardless of the time of day, 24 hours, bro. And you get to not just hang out with me. You get to watch all my TikTok content, right? You get to have access. You get discount codes. You get all of the additional things. You get to see Trisha, Mama of Wolves, right here. You get to see all of the other sobriety coaches. You get to see all of my business partners. You get to see everything that we're doing. You can see a lot of behind the scenes. You'll see me going for walks and strategy sessions and planning and all of that stuff. And that's specifically for a network called Binge. It is no coincidence that I'm officially working with an organization called Binge. If you're gonna binge, bro, come binge some VSO content, man. Get lost in that shit. You can't OD on binge content. You can't overdose on sobriety, bro. It might feel overwhelming, but I guarantee you will not hurt yourself within an active state of health and happiness, man. I'm so stoked for this, dude. So there's so many new things and so much magic that is happening. So do me a favor, if you haven't connected with me personally, just share your information. You don't have to leave me a message, but at least drop your data, gain access to all the stuff that I'm working on. And as I continue to unfold these things, I'll have new opportunities and I'll keep you guys all in the loop. That's the whole point, man. And remember, like, there's 100 of us kicking it. If we were all in a room right now, this would be a massive conference. And it's because of you. It's because you continue to show up. It's because you continue to share the message. It's because you continue to throw out the yeses, and because you continue to tap the screen and you continue to just struggle forward, that we've been able to basically create such a massive movement in the mental health and sobriety industry that you are actively contributing to saving millions and millions and millions of people's lives just by being here, just by showing up, just by sharing, and just by interacting with my content, and just by doing what you do. And I cannot thank you enough, man. Like, I never thought that something like this, I knew something could arise. Did I know what it was? No. And I'm actively taking advantage of every angle that I possibly can to make sure. Is it Tubi? Yeah, I'll be on Tubi. Tubi is on my remote. I was sitting here and I was like, what? Like we just worked out another deal with Tubi. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like, so much stuff. So I think January is going to be like the master promotion for it. Although over the next few weeks, I'm strategizing content. I'm creating official Binge Network content, which means that it's exclusive for Tubi. Like, you're not going to get TikTok content on Tubi. Oh, you will, but what I mean is the additional stuff will only be for these specific platforms. So there's so much stuff, man. There's the Beyond Sober book is coming out too. I have 210 pages already written, and now I am editing 30 chapters, dude. Like, when I say that I'm busy, There's a reason why I have to take Thrive. There's a reason why I have to go to the gym and do these things, and I'm up at 5:15. It's because I'm working on absolutely everything 24/7. I sleep about 5 hours a night comfortably. I'm happy with that number. It's perfect for me just because my body has everything it needs. But I'm actively working my ass off to help as many people take care of themselves, man. When the basics of life feel impossible, we find reasons why we don't deserve happiness. And I'm here to help everybody get really fucking good at the basics of life, which is the stuff they don't teach us in school. So with that, before my throat disappears, I see people coming in. I'm so excited for everyone on my calendar. I'm so excited to see the people that joined Beyond Sober just now. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. Feel free to send me a DM. If you have a personal question for me, you could also leave me a message with that link in my bio. You'll see it says, honestly, is there anything I could do to support you? Leave me your information right there, and I will respond to you privately with a message. So I have the capsules or drink mix. I do all three. So I just took the patch off a few minutes ago. So I wake up, I have a whole bunch of Thrive right here. Fuck it. Can I show you this shit? I don't want to do all that stuff. We'll do it later. But I'll take the nutrients in the morning, and then about 45 minutes later, I'll make a shake. And then at that same time, I'll throw on a patch. And all day long, literally until like 10, 11, 12, I have sustainable energy, insane amount of focus. I'm telling you, man, like I thought I was healthy before Thrive. And now I don't know anything else, man. I can never go back. It is such a dramatic improvement in my physical and mental health and my ability to get things done, even with extreme ADHD. It works, dude. And if there's anybody that is ready for their nutritional journey, you guys want to like curb symptoms, you want to just get better sleep, man. You want to curb the anxiety, get rid of some of those depression symptoms. You want to have a better diet, man. You want to fill the nutritional gaps. Dude, you can go to Thrive with Kohdi or hit that link in my bio and I'll send everything over. If you guys decide to invest in Thrive, which is the same stuff that I'm doing, I'm actually giving the entire Beyond Sober program away as a thank you for investing in yourself. Not only that, if you know about Thrive and you're active in promoting the opportunity or the product, I'm also building a team. So there's a lot of us that are actively working together in so many angles. So we've got fitness, nutrition, mental health, and then we're working on like spiritual health and things like that too. So we're not stopping, dude. Not stopping. With that, before I lose my voice entirely, thank you. My honest appreciation, respect, and admiration. I'm your biggest fucking fan, dude. I am your biggest fan. I love seeing you win, and I love knowing that you're taking care of yourself. If you're struggling, come find me. Hit that link in my bio. Take a look at Beyond Sober. And if you could use my support personally, there's a place to apply for that. With that said, I love you. And just like my mother always says, please take care of you.